It's August 15th, and I was just at the post office. I was probably in line for half an hour. And I read a room really well. And there's this very pretentious lady in front of me, probably 10 years older than me or so. She just struck me as thinking she's better than me, and I knew right away that she was one of these pedos. And I knew she knew who I was, and I could tell. And she was like staring at me inadvertently, like she was staring at me without turning her head towards me. She was looking straight, and we're next to each other in line. But she was like, using her peripheral vision to stare at me. And so when I noticed, I just finally turned to her and looked at her eyes. And then after a few minutes, she felt uncomfortable enough that she stopped doing that and turned away. And then she went on to go and, had her packages handled and all. And, she starts talking about her expensive glasses that she had lost wherever, at a park or somewhere, and how kind the person was who returned them, and all I could think was it was just being impressed upon me, she was a very fit person, and it was it's like being able to see through people, because by all appearances and by all, listening faculty outwardly, she seems like a very wonderful lady, and that's what she's going for. For that, I was waiting for my package to arrive at the Starbucks across the street, and wow, I think I counted 9, but it might have been 10 people working there behind the counter, and there was at least as many people in at the tables and stuff. And as soon as I walked in, I was made 100% completely aware that every single one of them is part of this pedo ring, the pedo/cannibal. And they all know who I am, and they hate me. And there was also 2 tables with people outside. Table with 3 ladies, I believe it was. And boy, I walked past, and it's just it's like they hate that I'm alive. They hate that I feel comfortable enough, even though I'm homeless and I'm sleeping on the ground. In plain sight, by the way, because I don't have anything to hide from. But it's they hate that I, can still afford to come and have a coffee and have a normal, civil thing to do, right? They want me instead to use the cardboard box I slept on last night because it was raining and find a marker somewhere and write help, needs food, or whatever. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who make a sign if they need to. And I'm not above doing that if I needed to. But that's what they want me to be. They want me to be, busted, disgusted, dirty, and even without going back to my gym membership, which is really going to be ironic if they try to hold me to my contract, because it's it's going to come out that they were, through the shower stall, filming me. It's going to come out. So, but without me going back there to take a shower, because I don't want to continue being filmed, I'm still able to keep going with things like cornstarch and baking soda and diatomaceous earth and essential oils, and just being smart as hell. So these people hate me, and as I sat in there for an hour or so and charged my phone at the Starbucks waiting for my package to show me that it was delivered, it was just wow, this is the weird feeling, It's I'm smiling, not that I'm smiling constantly, but I'm smiling and I am happy because I am like, I'm not happy I got trafficked. I'm not happy that the majority of my life has been like a lie. Like that I never had one true friend or family member, adults, who cared anything about me ever. I mean, the extent of what's happened is so crazy. I never could have imagined. But now that I do know, and then I fully stepped into my like life purpose, like I'm ecstatic to bring down this group. This is the most wonderful thing that can ever happen. Not that these people do this, but that it's coming down permanently. That they're being removed from Earth. They are. They're being removed. There might be some who go to prison for life, but by and large, they're being removed from Earth. But the ones that are still alive are being removed from, from the populace. They won't be having freedom. These people are so fake. That's why, that's why their smugness comes so strongly across, this way that they perceive themselves to be better than. It's like this projection. And so the disdain that they look at me with, maybe because I'm wearing the same outfit for the last 3 days, right? Or my legs aren't shaved, or I don't have any makeup on, or I don't have, any gold jewelry or something, I don't know what they tell themselves, but it's like the contempt that they feel towards me, that is actually the hate they have for themselves. Because I'm an innocent person, and I know if they had any way of really, like, reconciling with their own mind, they know I am. They know they came for an innocent person, but that's what they do. And the children are innocent as well. So, I mean, people who can do these things, I mean, that's why it's like, how much is really a human in there still? Just like with my daughter Jaleesa, once she joined this group, and I wouldn't have known, and she killed her little brother, my son Ethan, when he was, just a week away from 18 months old, so she would be able to be accepted to this group. How many years before there was no Jaleesa left? How many more years, how much time went on before, I mean, she still seems like herself by her looks, right? Her voice is still the same, but it's like becoming soulless over time. And anybody who feels justified in having sex with children regularly, not like, I didn't mean to do that, oh my God, I've been sexually abused and I did it to someone and I'm remorseful, but by habit, and then the way that they're slaughtering people to consume the blood, it's all energy harvesting in its varied methods. Then there's all the black magic that they use, like Jaleesa was doing jar spells on me. I'm being told that, her death is required because she pretty much was a huge part in me staying 10 years more than I wanted, because she is my oldest, and I would have told her 10 years prior to me leaving that I really was feeling like I was supposed to leave because of the Bible verse, because I believe the Bible, and I believed I was supposed to follow the Bible, especially the New Testament. And there's a verse in 1 Peter where it says, but and if she depart, and that's where I was really feeling called that I was supposed to leave. And the only reason I'll say that it's really more fated that I didn't leave then is because, first of all, I gave birth to 5 children after that time, and I hope to get, those are the children I hope to get back. And then the other is just, it's all been part of this, like Ethan was one of his children, and even though he's dead, his death was necessary to, like, this is going to be, his death is going to be the one that's not about his body, his remains, bones, whatever it is now, and, or that his grave is empty, so it's going to be used to bring down, my family and the Mennonite church there that were, like, had their hands in it. And then the doctor and, the people at the morgue who were, what is it called, the autopsy, the ones who falsified the autopsy, because they were trying to say maybe I had done something foul play. I was the one who found his body. But then they did the autopsy, and supposedly it showed it was, no foul play. But it really is foul play, and so it's going to come out because of Ethan's death and the whole, like, shebang of, like, what these people do, because of the enormity of what's been done to me. It's going to show it's not just the town of Cortland, Virginia, or Franklin, Virginia, at this particular funeral home, that's fudging autopsies and covering up murder. Oh no, this is going on everywhere. Or it's not just with this person that insurance claims are made and there's, even deaths faked. It's going to be like every aspect to show their blueprint of what they do. And so, because of that, and because of all that's going to be changing for Earth, for everyone's benefit who's left, who isn't part of this, I am glad I didn't leave when I did. And I'm okay with everything that's happened, even though I hate that, like, my children, even now, are, most likely still being molested by their dad. But this is like the end, the end of that. This is like the countdown. And the hex that was put on me during our wedding day at the Mormon church, not a Mormon temple, but the hex, and I've already broken out of that hex, but that would have been August 22nd. So I believe by August 22nd of this year, today is the 15th, that there's going to be a manifestation in the physical of, I don't know what it's going to be, a body discovered, or, Galena, my daughter who was recently murdered, but I have no evidence that she has been, but I know it. I believe she was pregnant with her dad's baby. She told me she was pregnant, and she told me she had gotten married. And I don't know, if her body's been found yet, but I'm hoping it will be, and that, if they need to body jump, my spirit team is going to use her death and everything awful that's happened to, put the right people, even if they have to hop into the body, to make there be a judge that's not corrupted, to do the right thing and all the discoveries be made, and I don't have to try to figure it out. It's going to happen very miraculously. And that, all that's been done to me, and that I'm still alive and will continue to be alive and thrive, and the way that the different things will come out, and it's like, how did this get found out about? This is the element that's going to have the whole world who isn't part of this believing in, I don't want to say God, because I feel like people too much go back to like a biblical understanding, but let's say that the spirit world is real, and that being an atheist is like sticking both fingers in your ear, and because we can be reactionary to the phoniness of religion and think that atheism is a real valid option, but there's going to be too much evidence because of the way things come out. And so I'm very happy, and as I have not one person on my side, nor have I had. And I'm sitting in the Starbucks, like I said, charging my phone, and I would have gone outside if they had a outlet out there, but because I read energy so much, and because I feel the people, and I feel their hatred towards me, and I feel like they wish I wouldn't be there, they wish I was dead. And many of these people, they have lost loved ones or friends because of suicide, because of coming for me, and so these people hate me. When I was hired at Love's, they were trying to kill me back when I still lived in Emporia, and the manager, Tika, wasn't her husband, but her baby's daddy, he had just died, and of course she didn't tell me it was connected to me and that he had committed suicide. That was revealed to me later when I got fired, and the only reason I got fired is because they couldn't kill me. The only reason I got hired is so I could be in close proximity to them, and they were trying in whatever way to kill me, but they couldn't because of my rank, and because of my purpose, and because of my purity, and because of destiny. And these are the things that are going to be revealed. And all of this has only strengthened my, my faith, if you will say, but not faith the way that I had in the Bible, but just, seeing and understanding that, wow, this is real, and the spirit realm is, I would kind of look at it as being overlaid. It's not separate, like you reaching up towards the sky. It's right here. We just can't see. And so we can see, and maybe we're given a vision or something, and it's the realness, or even so many times, there's been times lately where it's I'm saying something, even if I'm saying it quietly, and sometimes I'm saying it out loud, and I'm speaking to my spirit team, and the confirmation comes in such a way, the timing is impeccable, even if it's just a certain honk of a car going by, or whatever it is, but it's the answer, or the proof. And I know there's plenty of people who would be and maybe that would have been me before, but when those type of things happen, and it's yeah, no, this is no joke. And I would say probably the visions I've had the most, that have mostly had the greatest impact on my knowing 100%, when I used to see it was 222 or 333 or all these things, and I felt like I kept seeing certain numbers over and over. And this is before I knew I broke out of the matrix, when I was still living with my mom. It definitely caught my attention, how can it be this again? I can't believe it's this or whatever. And I wasn't really someone who looked into numerology or anything, but they had my attention. But seeing real time, someone being murdered, and by people that by people very well, or have known for years, and it's giving these visions and understanding, so I can step up into this purpose, which is to bring down this whole group. So I guess I'm just, it's sad in a way, but these people have got to go. And really, if we were able, just I can see through them and perceive what they really are, if we could see, if we could be a fly buzzing around as they're having their orgies and their sacrifices, we would feel good about them dying. The death penalty will come back. And really, it needs to be something more strung out and painful. These people are so full of pride, and to think about what they actually do, and the kind of heartlessness it takes to do the things that they do repetitively, it really is just like, but then the pretense is, oh, thank you so much, and it's like this phoniness, and I guess it just, they are at such, contrast. They really, it's like they believe the contrast somehow, and they somehow push it out of, from their day to day. It's like, I don't even know. I don't know how they do that. But really, it's like they're taken over by beings who are so evil and who crave blood. And so there is no need to justify, and there is no guilt, and there is no remorse. And without it being taken down by the spirit world, this would never end.